Well, I like that a lot better than being 14 points down with 9 minutes to go like we were last year. So we were holding on this year. So we didn't have to come from so far behind. I think they got ahead by 5. And, it's a young team, maybe not age-wise, but playing together. And it reminded me of an Air Force game, where they're playing a switching man or a matchup zone, and all the plays you've worked on against straight man aren't working, and now you got to find ways to generate offense, to cut around, to have an IQ, to play in space. And we're trying to figure it out on the fly, and that's a hard thing to do. So as much as sometimes you're disappointed with the play, you're only good at things you work on. And so the beauty of this is now we'll stack this game. So the next time we run into someone that plays us a matchup zone or a switching man, our thoughts will be clear, not only as players but as coaches. And the next game we play will be nothing like this one, and we'll stack that one. And then as the season goes on, we'll have played about every defense you can play, and the next time we run into one, we're better prepared to handle it. So I was fairly happy with what we did on the fly. We played a 4-guard lineup, which we're going to do some this year, between Taj and Miles with the other 3 guards. That's what we ended up going to. And we played big for a while with Heidi and Farrow, and then we just thought our best chance in this game against the zone was to be small. They were spreading us out and driving us anyway, and the post touches they got, we did a good job fronting the post, and a lot of times it was a drive to a back down. And so we took our chances and stayed small, and I thought that was a reason that we were able to generate enough offense to win the game.
Did you expect that defense?
Yeah, we saw it. So we worked on some of our zone offense, where we just cut people in and out through the zone. And then I tried to get it done with some of our man plays. Don't wait until the guy comes to your side, already cut through, because they have to kick guys off because they're switching so much. So whether it's a switching man or a matchup zone, a combination of both, it's confusing. And they did a good job with it. But to our credit, we found a way to get downhill enough down the stretch. And it's even to the very end where we're running a high ball screen with a 4-point lead, and I'm standing there and I can see what's happening, and I say, BJ, cut. And he cut right under the rim, and they threw it to him, and he got a layup. So good job, Coach Dutcher, but these are plays that you, as a player, you learn. You're like, man, if they're not looking at me, I'm just going to cut behind him and get a layup. So it worked out, but I told him to cut. He made the play, he finished the layup. So these are learning experiences for all of us. So I'm happy as heck. It's hard to win a college basketball game. And this is going to be a good team. They're going to compete for a conference championship. They've got veteran guards, they got good coaches, they got new bigs, and they're trying to learn how to play together too. So it was a good early season matchup for both teams.
It was kind of a tale of 2 halves on the defensive end. Ucsd shot 18% in the first half, 50% in the second half. Was there any major difference between your guys defending out there? Was there an emphasis going into the second half? Or were they just making those shots?
They did a better job with some of the stuff they did. They made adjustments at halftime. And, for that stretch in the second half, they were just trying to get a big on Magai and let him try to shoot over him, face him up, drive him. And that's why we went small. So if we did switch, we had a guard on him. So we didn't want him just facing up our bigs and playing one-on-one with our bigs. It's an unfair position to put them in. And most of the bigs, guards that they play, usually we play off them with a hover hand and then leave the floor second, but you can't give him any airspace. So I've got bigs that got to crowd him, and then he's going to drive around him. So we made an adjustment, just said, we'll just go small and try to keep a guard on him and make that kind of adjustment. So each coach was trying to make adjustments that would help their team win the game.
Miles has a chance to have kind of a breakout season. What was it like watching him start the way that he did, impacting the game in a number of ways?
Yeah, well, he's a dynamic player, so his energy's always high. The thing I like best about Miles today is only had 1 turnover. He's a guy that sometimes gets careless, but he was tight with the ball. He shot it. He drove it in there. He made plays, and he took care of the basketball. So that was a huge improvement there. He's always been able to score the ball. So when he's shooting the 3 and then he gets downhill, he blocks shots. So Miles is a dynamic player, and it was good to see him, the first game of his 3rd year in the program, step up and make such good plays.
How important is it for him to do that without Reese out there? Reese is obviously a leading returning scorer, a very experienced player, wing player, but without him out here, Miles having to step.
Yeah, Miles has to do a little bit more maybe, but I've got good players. I mean, I thought that Nick did a good job having missed 8 weeks, been back basically 3 weeks, and to go out and play 33 minutes. I thought Wayne McKinney plays hard, BJ plays hard. They're tough guards and guard the ball hard. There was a huge steal Wayne had, at the end in a close game. He just pressured the ball and tipped it away from him and got a layup. So those are just hard plays by tough, gritty kids. And so I think this team has a lot of grit. We just have to keep getting better. We have to execute better. But that winning attitude is something that I've seen from the start. So that gives us a chance to be good.
What did you see in that sequence when it was 50-45, 12-0 run? There were a lot of those hustle plays, and you kind of get control of the game, but then you also get the crowd involved as well.
Yeah, well, this crowd is incredible. Once we get rolling and they get behind us, it's hard to play against us. And I think the thing I was most pleased about the small lineup is, we didn't give up a lot of offensive rebounds down the stretch. Seems like we battled and we ended up winning on the glass, even though I didn't think we did a great job on the offensive glass. We ended up winning the rebounding margin. I don't know how many free throws we took in the first half, maybe 2 or maybe none. And then we won the free throw battle, shot 15 for the game. That was important, And then the field goal battle, as well as they played the second half, they still shot 32% for the game. That's using a winning number, if you can hold the opposition to 32%. So defensively, we were solid. We can get better. And offensively, we did just enough to find a way to win a game.
Coach, it kind of seemed like there wasn't a guy who was scoring kind of on their own, beating somebody one-on-one. Are you concerned at all about, your team's ability, late in the shot clock, just to be able to kind of beat their man in front of them to be able to score? Is that something they've been showing in practice?
Yeah, I think we got guys that can do that, but the problem is, like, when they're in the zone, you beat your guy, and the second guy's standing there. So you have to beat 2 guys. So Nick found a way to worm his way in between guys and eliminate both defenders. He had to split 2 defenders sometimes to get in there. And so it's just a byproduct of the defense they were playing. I thought in the first half we got to the rim, but we didn't finish a lot. Nick fell down, BJ fell down. They were at the rim, but they didn't convert, and they weren't strong enough to draw fouls. I don't think they were fouls. I think those guys were vertical. There was contact, but not enough.
Would you say it's fair to have a game like this early on and speaks more so to the adversity of the team?
Yeah, you want to play. With what's around the corner, we desperately wanted to win this game because then we have Occidental, and then the next 4 is possibly 4 ranked teams in a row, 1 here and 3 on the neutral court. So we have to be good in November, and that's hard to do. So we're grateful to get a win. We're going to come back Tuesday, prepare hard for Occidental, and then we have the Zags coming in, and you just look at them. They beat Baylor by 50 points. So what's ahead. So all we can control is what we're doing every day. So we'll look at the film, take a day off tomorrow, and come back and try to learn from this last game, and then start stacking practices and games together.
Did Magoon get banged up there in the second half?
I think he got a cramp. So I said it had to be a small one because he's got small muscles. So hopefully we'll be able to get him healthy right away.
What were your thoughts on him? Obviously a really fast start with all those blocks early.
Yeah, he was dynamic around the rim, blocking shots. I just wanted to see how quickly he fatigued, and that's what I've got to learn. How long can he play before it starts to diminish, where he gets tired, he gets straight up and down, he can't move his feet as well. So is he a guy that plays a 5-minute stretch and then comes out? Is it a 4-minute stretch? Is it a 6-minute stretch? That's stuff that I've got to learn as a coach. And the only way to learn it is to play games and see when he hits that point where everybody hits the point on the team where you have to go to the bench. No matter how well they're playing, they're going to hit that fatigue point. So I thought Magoon hit the fatigue point like at the 6-minute mark of the first half. He looked really tired. Like the guys wanted me to take a timeout because all of them looked kind of tired. You know me, I'm pretty stingy with my timeouts. So,
Coach, it seems like you're trying to get Miles the ball early in the shot clock. What do you see as his role in this team, both as a facilitator and how he can move your offense forward?
I want him to be aggressive offensively, but I want him to take care of the ball. I want him to do a better job seeing the play in front of him. Some of the passes he throws are just habit passes. He throws it because he thinks he's supposed to. I want him to develop more as a playmaker when he has a ball and continue to be aggressive trying to score it.
Do you have any thoughts on the turnovers? You had 14 total. Is that a good number for you, bad?
I think this is back-to-back. I think we had 14 against San Marcos. We had 24 against UCLA, and then 14. Usually as a coach, you put on the board 12 or under, and good teams usually play 12. really good teams are 10 or 8 a game. So for a new team, that many turnovers was probably okay. You know, moving forward, we'll drop that down as we get used to playing with each other.
Tritons were tough in their house. They were tough here. Are you looking forward to scheduling them again?
Yeah, but not there. I don't know. We'll see. Scheduling's always hard. You know, you always think, well, we're not going to do this again, and then the dates line up, and it's a good game for both teams, and you do it. You know, so obviously they've given us great games the last 2 years. You know, they've had a chance to win them both, and we found a way to make enough timely plays to get victories.
I just want to talk about the starting decision to start Davis over McKinney. Do you prefer Davis to be like an off-ball guard with Boyd and Bird on the court?
Wayne lost his chance to start because he hurt a hamstring and missed a week or 2 weeks or 10 days. So he wasn't practicing, and BJ was out there every day. So BJ earned the starting spot, and he's proven he's done a good job to keep it so far. But I'm not opposed to saying if a guy's playing better or this guy steps up and he practices and he looks better than the other guy, to adjust the lineup this year with so many new players. So we'll see how it moves going forward.
Where would you say you are? You talked about learning on the fly and trying to get everybody where they need to be. Given all of the new players that you just described, are you further along than maybe you thought you were, or how do you compare it to previous years when you had so much experience with those players?
Well, it's hard to tell because of the way they played us. You know, sometimes you say, okay, you're going to practice, you're going to play like you practice. And we haven't been practicing against this zone or this switching man or matchup zone. And so we went maybe 10 minutes in practice against it yesterday and then came out and went against it today. And we had some thoughts what might work, but we haven't been spending 8 weeks preparing for a matchup zone. And then they hit us with it, and they stayed with it. We knew they had it in. I just didn't think they'd play it very long. I thought maybe they'd try a possession or two, and if we hit a basket, they'd get out of it. But they stayed in it, to their credit. They tried to mix defenses, and you got a new team, and you're playing against mixing defenses, and that's a challenge. So it's about what I thought it would look like. I mean, I was pleased. I thought they did a good job trying to listen in timeouts, listen in halftime, and it wasn't perfect, but they tried to do the right thing. I tried to talk them through some things on the floor as the game was going on, tell them when to cut, when to get out of there early, and that's coaching. So I don't want to play them like a PlayStation game where I'm moving them telling them where to go, but as I'm teaching and they'll start learning, they'll start doing it on their own.
You raised the Sweet 16 banner again, and when you show the players all those banners up in Viejas, do you use that to motivate them, and do you see any reaction from the players from that?
You know, it's the point with this program right now, we're not in need of a lot of motivation. We just play high-level basketball, and we expect to play it. So there's no motivation needed. If you come here, you're going to play defense, you're going to rebound, and you're going to play free offensively. And I think that's what we did tonight.
You said last week about having to be good in November. Do you have a timetable about when you can't have the equal opportunity for everybody, but you have to kind of put in who you're focusing on the offense and building it around?
I think if we play as hard as we play, we're going to play a lot of players because we expect them to play hard at the defensive end and not rest on defense. We're not that dynamic offensively. We're going to say, well, let's just sit in a 2-3 zone and race them to 100. We got to get stops. And so we ask them to pick up full court and turn the ball and pressure and get to their gaps, and they get tired. So you can't play 8 guys the way we play. We got to be deep. And I think if you look over my 8 years, we've been pretty deep. I play a lot of players.